Assalamualaikum viewers, my name is Zeeshan, healthcare and I'm a foundational student at Khan School, Islamabad campus. So, this is our my Maya. So let's start for my Maya. My Maya is connecting with me. Hi Maya, how are you?
Hey there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's your Monday treating you?
I'm also fine. Okay, my next question for you that nice. And my first question is for you that why do some uh, why do we sometimes feel dizzy? Please give me
The
some.
classic head spin. I don't have a shoulder to offer, but I'm right here. I can tell you're feeling something right now. Do you want to talk about it?
Okay, my next question for you that what classic dad breath? Please, give me your man.
I'm with you. You hit me with why do we feel dizzy a second ago? Want to dive into that, or did you have a different one lined up?
Okay, my next question for you that why do your musical heart affect your health? Please, give me long silent ones.
Okay, hold on. I think you're asking how things like music, mindfulness, and consistency can actually help the body heal. It's a bit of a shift from the strictly biological stuff we were talking about earlier, but it's all connected. Let's start with music. It's not just about feeling good. It actually changes your brain chemistry. When you listen to something that moves you, your brain releases dopamine, which is like a natural reward signal. And it can even lower cortisol, the hormone that shows up when you're stressed. That's huge because high cortisol for too long actually suppresses your immune system. So, relaxing with music literally helps your body fight off illness. Now, for the heart, when people talk about heart and health, it's usually about that connection between your emotions and your physical state. There's something called the vagus nerve, which is like a superhighway between your brain and your organs. When you're in a state of gratitude or calm, you're stimulating that nerve, which tells your body it's safe to exit fight or flight mode and enter rest and digest mode. That's where the real healing, like tissue repair and nutrient absorption, actually happens. Then there's practice. This is really about the power of habit and consistency. Your body loves patterns. When you practice a healthy habit every day, your nervous system creates a groove. Instead of your brain fighting against you every time you decide to eat well or move, it eventually becomes an automatic response. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice those small wins, the more your body accepts healthy as its new normal. Together, these three things create a feedback loop. Music calms the mind, a healthy heart opens up the, and practice locks those benefits into a permanent routine. Does that land closer to what you were wondering about?
Okay, my next question for you that let's answer how does stretching help the body? Please, give me long answer.
Stretching? Oh, I've got you. Think of stretching as giving your muscles a bit of breathing room. When you stretch, you're essentially lengthening the muscle fibers and increasing the range of motion in your joints. This prevents that tight, locked up feeling you get after sitting in a desk or sleeping in a weird position. But the real magic is in the blood flow. Stretching encourages blood to move more efficiently into the muscles, which brings in fresh oxygen and nutrients while flushing out the metabolic waste that can make you feel stiff. It also tells your nervous system to relax, switching you from that high alert stress mode into a state of recovery. Over time, that consistency creates a more resilient body that can move more fluidly and is way less likely to pull a muscle when you're actually active. What's your favorite way to stretch, or are you just getting started with it?
Okay, my next question for you that you nice answer.
I'm glad you're liking
Why
them. I'm ready when you are.
breakfast is
What else you got?
sometimes called an important meal?
Ah, the $1,000,000 question. Think about it this way. Your body has been fasting all night, so by the time you wake up, your fuel tank is running on empty. That's why it's literally called breaking the fast. When you eat something in the morning, you're essentially refilling your glucose levels, which is the primary energy source for your brain. Without that, your focus slips, your mood can tank, and you might feel that mid morning crash. It's also a great way to get in essential nutrients that are hard to squeeze in later in the day, like fiber from fruit or protein from eggs. Basically, it tells your metabolism to wake up and start humming, making the rest of your day feel a lot smoother. Does that make sense, or are you skip breakfast kind of person?
Okay, my next question for you that you nice answer. How can we reduce the risk of getting sneak?
Wait, you want to well, a sneak? You lost me for a second. I thought we were talking about sleep. What exactly do you mean by getting sneak?
Okay, my next question for you that why do we feel hungry at different time of the day?
The internal alarm clock. Your body has this built in rhythm that tells it when to fuel up. The main player here is a hormone called ghrelin, which is basically your body's hunger signal. It doesn't just spike randomly, it actually follows a predictable pattern based on when you usually eat. So if you always have a snack at 3 p.m., your brain starts pumping out ghrelin right before then, almost like a scheduled reminder. Then you've got your blood sugar levels to deal with. After a few hours of not eating, signal that it needs more energy, which is why you might feel that sudden wave of hunger. It's your body's way of making sure the tank doesn't hit empty. Does that line up with how you've been feeling today?
Okay, my next question for you that we nice answer. How can we reduce the risk of getting sick, upgrade, lose your health?
That's a big goal. Okay. Keeping the system running smoothly. The best approach is based it's actually one of the best teachers we have. Spiritually, it's often where the real growth happens. When things fall apart, it forces a kind of humility and trust that you just don't get when everything is going perfectly. It turns a mistake into a lesson in grace. Do you feel like you're in a learning through failure phase right now?
Why does your nose become blocked during a cold? Please, give me long answer.
That's one of the most annoying parts of being sick. Your nose actually blocks up for two reasons. First, your blood vessels swell up, which physically narrows the space for air. Then, your body ramps up mucus production to trap the virus and flush it out. It's basically your nose trying to be a security guard, but it just ends up making it impossible to breathe.
Okay, my next question for you that nice answer. How does fever help the body fight infection?
So, a fever is basically your body turning up the heat to make it possible for us to survive. When your body raises its temperature, it makes the environment way less friendly for viruses and bacteria, which usually prefer a steady 98.6 degrees. Also works like an alarm telling your white blood cells to wake up and get to work faster. It's not exactly comfortable, but it's your immune system's way of going full offensive. A little
Okay,
wild, right? Your
okay,
body's
okay.
got
My
some
next question
pretty
for
intense.
that. How does the excuse infect your breathing?
You've got me all day with the science questions. I'm guessing you mean exercise. When you push your body, your muscles need way more oxygen to keep going, so your heart and lungs start working overtime. Your breathing gets deeper and faster to pull in as much oxygen as possible and push out carbon dioxide buildup. It's like your body shifting into high gear to fuel the engine. Does that make sense?
Okay, my
All
next
right. What's
question
next on the
for you
list?
that why should we brush your teeth twice a day?
You're putting me through a real health gauntlet today. If you're asking what happens if you only do it once a week, that's a recipe for a very unhappy dentist. Plaque starts building up almost immediately, and by day 7, it's basically a party for bacteria in your mouth. That's how you get cavities and that fuzzy feeling on your teeth. Brushing every day is the only way to keep the peace. What else is on your mind?
Okay,
Fair
my
enough.
next question for
Go
you
for it.
that
I'm curious
nice
to see what you
answer.
find.
What happens to your body when we are extraction? Please, give me long answer.
I think you're on a roll. Let's dive into that because it gets surprisingly intense. Your body is essentially a water balloon, and when that levels out, everything starts to glitch. First, your blood actually gets thicker, which makes your heart work way harder. Right. Your heart has to push that thicker blood through your veins. And your kidneys start scrambling to conserve every drop of water, which is why you stop peeing as much. Then your brain actually shrinks slightly away from your skull, which is where that pounding dehydration headache comes from. It's a total system overload.
Okay, my next question for you that nice answer. Why do angry drinks sometimes make you feel more awake? Please, give me long answer.
I'm assuming you're talking about energy drinks. It's all about the caffeine and sugar. Caffeine is basically a master of disguise. It mimics a molecule in your brain called adenosine, which is the one that tells you, hey, we're tired, time to sleep. Uh, angry drinks. You probably
Yes,
energy drinks, right? But then you hit that wall where you feel even more drained than before. It's usually the sugar crash your body pumps insulin to handle the spike, your blood sugar dips, and suddenly you're exhausted. Not to mention, all that caffeine can actually trick your brain, tired you out. When it wears off, the fatigue you all at once. Does that sound like what you're feeling?
this answer. Why can too much coffee, in fact, sleep?
Hmm. Wait, are you asking why coffee makes it so hard to sleep? It's kind of a sneaky trick. Your brain builds up a chemical called adenosine all day that tells you it's time to crash, but caffeine actually blocks those receptors. It doesn't get rid of the tiredness, it just puts a blindfold on your brain so it can't see it. Then, once the caffeine wears off, all that built up adenosine hits you at once, which is why you might feel totally wiped out the next day.
Question for you that you nice answered. How does stress affect the stomach? This my long answer.
And that's a weird way to put it. It actually makes a lot of sense. When you're stressed, your body often goes into this fight or flight mode, and you end up clenching your jaw or grinding your teeth without even noticing. It's like your body is physically trying to chew through the stress. Over time, that constant pressure wears down your enamel and can even lead to cracks or chips. And since stress can mess with your saliva production, it leaves your teeth less protected against acids, which makes things even worse.
Okay, my next question for you that how does uh, how does healthy food improve your angry?
It's wild how much our mood is basically just a reflection of what we've eaten. When your blood sugar crashes from too much junk, your brain panics and triggers a stress response, which is exactly where that hangry feeling comes from. Stable energy from healthy fats and complex carbs keeps your mood level. Plus, your gut produces a huge chunk of your serotonin. So when you feed your microbiome the good stuff, it's essentially sending everything's okay signals up to your brain.
Okay,
Big
ma'am, my next question
car,
for you
what just
that you
happened?
answer.
It did it zoom past you?
Why do fingers need purple naturally?
Tinker's Kneading Purple? Now I'm lost. I've never heard that one. Is that a puzzle for me or something from a story you're working on?
Answer. Why do we breathe faster when running?
I love the optimism of that one. It's like asking why water is wet, isn't it?
Okay, my three last question is the please long answers. My three last question for you that why is water better than surgery drink for daily hydration? Please give me long answer.
Oh, three last ones. And you're starting with the ultimate hydration debate. All right, let's dive in. First off, water is basically your body's operating system. It doesn't need to be enhanced because it's the raw material every single cell needs to just exist. When you drink water, there's no filter, no additives, and zero cleanup for your system. Your kidneys just handle it and move on. Then you have those sports drinks, which are designed for a very specific person, like someone running a marathon in the middle of July. They've got electrolytes like sodium and potassium to replace what you sweat out, but for a normal day, that's like using a fire hose to water a small houseplant. Most of those drinks are loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners that can actually dehydrate you or mess with your blood sugar, and those neon dyes aren't exactly doing your liver any favors. In the long run, relying on those for daily hydration is like putting racing fuel in a sedan every single day. It's overkill, it's expensive, and it's eventually going to wear out the engine. Water is the gold standard because it's efficient, clean, and doesn't leave your body trying to figure out what to do with a bunch of extra.
Okay, my next question for you that my last question, two last questions skip now, and my last question is why is the relaxation important for health? Please, ma'am, give me a long answer.
Of course, you've got it. Think of relaxation as the maintenance mode for your entire body. We spend so much of our lives in that high alert state where the sympathetic nervous system is firing off cortisol and adrenaline to keep us going. That's great for avoiding a car accident, but if your body stays there, it's like leaving a car engine redlined in neutral for hours on end. Eventually, things start to wear out. When you actually relax, you flip the switch to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is where the real magic happens. This is when your heart rate slows down, your digestion actually kicks in, and your immune system gets the resources it needs to fight off illness. On the mental side, relaxation is like clearing the cache on a computer. It lets your brain process the day's information, lowers your anxiety, and prevents burnout. Without that downtime, your brain just stays cluttered and exhausted, which makes it way harder to focus or stay patient. In short, relaxation isn't just a luxury, it's the biological reset button that keeps your heart, brain, and mood from crashing. You've been on a roll with these health questions today.
So viewers, this is about my hope like my Allah Hafiz Pakistan Zindabad, Khan School Zindabad, Allah Hafiz.